Hey, it's Omni Dog. Hey, Omni Dogs and Kittens. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk, and by we, I mean me, we're going to talk about Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is all the rage in a lot of quarters, especially this quarter, because I love Harley Quinn. Now, I know a lot of you out there, some people not that big on Harley Quinn. Maybe she's overplayed, you see too much of her. DC has decided she's the fourth pillar to hold up everything, along with Wonder Woman, Batman, and uh, that guy Superman. So she is of big importance to DC, and that is why they are promoting the heck out of her. Now, she is very popular. The New 52 run, whether or not you like New 52, the fact is that run was very popular, and that's the run that turned me on to her. I really, really fell in love with her during New 52. And let's take a second to salute the root beer that I'm drinking out of my Black Canary glass. This is my current favorite, Frost Top, and man, oh Manischewitz, is it good. Ah, Frosty Frost Top. So, let's go over a little bit about Harley Quinn. She first showed up in the animated Batman, the animated series, uh, and was a bit of a one off, they thought, but she grew in popularity. She was created by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, and she just has gained in popularity since then. One of the first books I read, uh, I had it in comic book form, was Mad Love. This is a great story because it's written by the great Paul Dini, and it's got artwork by the great Bruce Timm, and it is in a style that a lot of people dig, and I dig it too. This is the animated adventures, the animated series style. Mad Love is simply nothing less than a masterpiece of fun. It is really well written, and as you can see, the artwork is super fun. This was one of the first books that I ever got of hers. The deluxe edition features um, not only the regular comic book, but it's got an entire back section that is nothing but the breakdowns. So if you like back matter, this is a book for you because it has the whole book just basically broken down in the other half. Wonderful book, tons of awards, Eisner Award. Uh, Tons of people in the industry love this book, and I can see why because this is uh, this is referred to as the Batman Adventures. So I can see how people instantly fell in love with her. Ever since then, she's become more and more of an anti-hero, and in the New 52 run, represented the first half by this Herkin omnibus by Palmiotti and Connor. This is where she really broke out um, and became an anti-hero, dedicating, saying she was over her love for the Joker, dedicating her life to help people, help animals especially. And that's the one that really hooked me on her. Some of her past adventures that are also fun. This is also by Dini and Tim. Harley and Ivy. This is in the style that a lot of you guys like, including me. It's her relationship with Ivy. God, I'm having trouble tonight. Her relationship with Ivy. These are stories about that. They have a bit of a love-hate relationship going on because basically Harley's such a flake, and Ivy is a little bit more of a serious character. This is a wonderful book too. I mean, you cannot go wrong buying this book. It is absolutely fantastic. I loved this book, and you get a feel for what this book is like by the wraparound cover which shows a very goofy Harley Quinn right here. Um, I can't recommend this book enough. This is a great one. Now, there has been kind of a backlash against her because she is overplayed. I'm not one of those people. The more Harley I can get, as long as she's well written, the more Harley I can get, the better. Um, One of the other books that some people consider one of the seminal runs is the book by Carl Kessel and Terry Dodson. And this had a run of about 30, 32 comics, maybe. And this is, of course, got Terry Dodson art. It's not as cheesecakey art, but it's a little more cartoony. But now this story is very tightly focused, very fun. Shows a very athletic and independent um, Harley, and I really dig this book too. I don't worry, I do have some criticism. This isn't going to be a huge love letter to her, but I do love her. My only complaint about this book is that it's only 8 issues and it ends on a huge cliffhanger. Now I do have the singles, so I can go to my singles and finish up, but this is considered by a lot of people to be one of the finest runs of Harley Quinn there is, and I can see why. This is also very well written, easy to obtain, still in print. This is the Carl Kessel run. This is a lot Kessel run. And it is a wonderful book. But my favorite of the old style, or not the old style, but pre-New 52, is the fantastic Gotham City Sirens that features Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman. This is by Paul Dini too. With the first 2 books are by Paul Dini with great art by Tony Bedard. Now these are out of print, or I would highly recommend you get them. But the hardcovers are out of print. But there's going to be an omnibus in the spring, and I'm looking forward to that. There's also rumors of, I believe there's going to be a movie made of the Gotham City Sirens, and they're playing it up. I think the omnibus is going to be called Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens. But you can't do much better than this book. This is my favorite book because it's got 3 of my favorite characters in it, and it's tightly focused, very well written, fantastic art. The first 2 books are really good because they're both by Paul Dini. Actually, that was the second book I just showed you. The first one has artwork by March, and this artwork is crazy good with a wonderful story too. So I highly recommend when the Omni comes out, or Comixology, however you can get it, I highly recommend you pick this up because she's definitely the goofball amongst the 3 of them, and they always kind of sigh, Harley, but then they end up going along with her because she's the killer with a heart of gold, so to speak. So Gotham City Sirens is a book I highly recommend. And there's been a huge output by Palmiotti and Connor. All kinds of books have come out now, with this being the big collection. And it has, I can't even list all the artists. Most of the art is by Chad Hardin. It'd be great if Amanda Connor actually did the art in it. She just does some of the covers, but the artwork is very good, and this is where Harley really kicks in as the killer with a heart of gold. It's absurd mayhem. It is a little bit sadistic. There's definitely some violence in this book, and people are killed. Mostly it's people who deserve to be killed, but there's some shrapnel with some innocent bystanders. And she's got her big hammer out. But this is not the Harley from the Arkham Asylum games. This is fun, goofy Harley, where she is going a mile a minute. She goes from one job to the next. She's inherited, if I remember correctly, because I only read it last week, and you know my memory is as terrible as can be. She inherited a big building where she lives and houses all kinds of rescue dogs and a freak show, and she has the most absurd cast of characters that are her friends. And you've heard the expression, throw the spaghetti against the wall, see what sticks, and maybe you're right about that. Palmiotti and Connor throw everything against the wall, and even what falls to the ground they write about. It is absurd fun. You really, really have to suspend your disbelief for this. But I just found it charming and fun and really easy to love in it. There's all kinds of different artists in it. As you can see, we've seen a lot of different art styles so far. Um, they just write her as the fun goofball who's just trying to help out, and in her own weird, twisted way. Um, she's a fetching gal. I have a lot of statues of Harley because I like her so much. This issue also, I'm sorry, this book also collects the Power Girl miniseries, and if you like Power Girls, she's well written in this book, in a very far fetched manner. There's nothing that makes sense about any of it. Somehow it all works, but they're always traveling through some wormhole to distant galaxies, and somehow they can breathe in space. I don't know, whatever. It works though. It's fun. It takes you out of the typical tights and capes type of world. No grim and gritty here. This is goofy and just an absurd amount of fun. And I keep saying absurd because it really is. Um, the other book that Palmiotti and Connor wrote that I picked up was Harley's Little Black Book, where she guest stars with, as you can see on the cover, lots of superheroes, including Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Zatanna, Lobo, and is that Big Barda up there? The Bombshells. Now, this book starts out actually really strong with a very fun, really well written, little bit focused Wonder Woman story. Um, I really enjoyed the Wonder Woman story. There was a Green Lantern story that's actually really good in Harley's Little Black Book. As it goes along, the book tends to lose focus. Once you get to the Bombshells, if you read any Bombshells, you realize that the Bombshells, you really have to suspend your disbelief. Now, I am the first person to say I love the Bombshells, but you simply have to go, oh, really? They can do all that? You know, meet Hitler, kill Hitler, whatever, fight in World War II with just a baseball bat like Batwoman does. Um, and it sort of fizzles out a little bit. The Neil Adams drawn story um, is okay. Neil Adams is just not quite what he used to be. His art is a little raw and in your face, a little more brutal. It's not as nuanced as it was. It's a story where she ends up boxing Superman in a match where Superman's powers have been taken away in a replay of the Superman versus Muhammad Ali comic. Um, it's it's not it's not bad. It's interesting. It's okay. Then we get to the last story, drawn by Simon Beasley, which is Lobo. This is where it falls off a cliff. Um, I don't know who thought to put Lobo together with Harley Quinn. Um, I didn't feel it worked that well. Um, I have no feelings for or against Lobo. I think he's fine in certain situations, but it was a pretty weak story, I thought. Uh, but I would say it's 6 issues. The first four are good, then it tails off. So that's Harley's Little Black Book. But you can see they're putting her together in all types of situations with all types of superheroes. Um, and I think it's worth getting, maybe in paperback, maybe on Comixology. I don't know that I can recommend that everybody go out and get it. First 4 issues are solid. Last 2, not so much. And that brings us to Harley Quinn Rebirth, which is pretty much more of the same. It takes its cue from the New 52 series. That omnibus was just the first half of the Harley Quinn run in New 52. The New 52 series, I think, started out strong. The omnibus has the best stories of Harley Quinn. And it tails off a little bit towards the end once you get to the issues in the mid-20s all the way up to issue 30. So I think the second omnibus, while it will be a must-get for me, you're probably going to want to wait till you hear. I will give you an honest review when I get it. But I feel like the second omnibus is going to be probably some of the weaker Harley Quinn stories. And quite frankly, that doesn't bother me because any Harley Quinn stories are good stories to me. I just happen to love her. And this is the Rebirth right here, which is just, has a lot of different artists. That I think this is Kaluta art, which is amazing. And so Rebirth is more the same. I found the stories, they tightened up more than the end of the New 52 run. So I think Rebirth is definitely worth a purchase because I think it's a lot of good, solid, goofy fun. And I'm sorry to keep saying goofy, fun, absurd. It's really what it is. If you like comics, you like to have a good time, you like to relax and enjoy yourself, Harley Quinn is a great way to enjoy the day. Harley Quinn is not all right in the head since she bounces back and forth between being a psychiatrist and a roller derby girl and a landlord in this Palmiotti and Connor world. But somehow it works, and I really enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed all these Harley Quinn books, and I think you might too. You might want to give it a try on Comixology at first, or pick up some of the trades. I recommended the books that I really loved, and I think that you will enjoy Harley as much as I did if you can just suspend your disbelief, go into it knowing she's a clown, a psycho clown. People get hurt along the way. Usually it's the bad guys. She's working on the side of good within her own rules. But I find it highly enjoyable and I just dig it. And New 52, it was my favorite run. A lot of people run down New 52. That's fine. That's just your opinion though, man. I liked a lot of New 52. I understand some people didn't. But I liked a lot of New 52, but Harley Quinn was something I could not wait to read every month, New 52. So here's Omnidog saying, I think you should give Harley Quinn a try. I think you'll really dig her, and I can see exactly why DC's making her the fourth pillar. I was just at Baltimore Comic-Con, and I was able to get a lot of signatures on a lot of books. I could not get close to Palmiotti and Connor. Their line was a mile long. I think that they have hit a home run with Harley Quinn, and fans are eating it up. So take a deep breath, spend a couple of bucks, and enjoy some Harley Quinn love. So until next time, this is Omnidog saying peace and love, read Harley Quinn. Thanks.